In this video, we're going to be breaking down the Star Wars Shatterpoint 2025 unit updates. Hey guys, Rich from Rich Big Gaming. I hope everyone is doing fantastic. Well, welcome to this, a Star Wars Shatterpoint video. It has been a minute, to say the least. And the reason for us coming back and taking a look at Shatterpoint is the huge drop that AMG sort of teased a couple of weeks back, maybe even a month or so back now, and they've eventually dropped on us, and it is a huge update to a large number of characters. So to break all of these down with me is Mr. Quinn Duggan. Quinn, how the hell are you doing, sir?
I'm doing all right. I'm fresh.
It's been a while, hasn't it?
Fresh back from D&D. Been itching to dig into these all the while I was playing, and yeah.
I think it's fair to say, because obviously I've gone through, haven't I? And we've got them side by side in a nice way, so you can see the before and afters. I just thought it was the easiest way, and I've tried to find them all, but I think it's fair to say what I haven't done yet is digested them and actually had that conversation and gone, oh, that means that this now is this and this is this, and oh, that means their damage has gone from this amount up to this amount, and that actually means now that they can do something in the game, whereas maybe they couldn't before. I mean, we already know the characters that have got changes. What are your hopes for this sort of errata as a whole? Because it's the first one for, other than obscure little ones here and there, right? A change to Dooku's card, a misprint here.
Eras on Bo-Katan and stuff like that.
Yeah, things like that. What are your hopes? Because I think for me, I think it's fair to say that Shatterpoint had a huge launch, and I don't know, I get the feeling, and I look at number of games played, number of events, I look at what I do myself, look at local gaming stores, and it feels like it's been on the decline for the past 6 months or so, I'd say.
Yeah, like a certain degree of stagnancy crept in also.
Yeah.
With how the meta ended up being, it wasn't the most fun place to be.
Empire Arcanum. And I think this is really important because I think this allows AMG to set the tone moving forward. Because what we often find, don't we, is that changes that are made on cards now have a ripple effect, because it means that, well, actually, when they release a new model, they know not to do this or this or this, because
it leads to a degree of standardization.
Yeah. So I think it's a really important one. I think the first pass or the first updates are always important. You know, they have, I mean, at least from my side, Quinn, there's a lot of expectation, right? So I remember the first AMG pass at MCP, and I thought they did a really good job with it. Right?
Remember when Hulk wasn't the best sixth threat?
I know. I know. Do you remember when Star-Lord didn't have a leadership?
He had a leadership that was negatively affecting you rather than positively. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. So high expectations, Quinn. Yeah. I think it's fair to say.
Main things I'm hoping for is buff to Republic, like specifically clones, because clones are my jam. And then reining in the things that were on the more obscene end. So things like Gideon Hask. I would have liked to have seen Kanan and Leia Charming Princess. We haven't. But, you know, maybe they were in a different test batch. Maybe it's... There will be reasons internally that why they were missed. And hopefully, with everything else, all the things that are being brought up,
I was just going to say, what you don't want to do, and we will get into this in a moment, I do promise, but it is worth talking about, is what you don't want to do. And we have seen this a little bit from AMG in the past, is the community makes a huge noise, they overcorrect, and something becomes far too bad. Or they overcorrect and something becomes way better than it ever should have been.
So effectively, Hero of Midgard and Ghost Rider effect.
Yeah, and it is important to note that, isn't it? By raising the standard of other people that are not as good, it means that actually you maybe don't need to nerf some of the higher performing, because it kind of brings them closer together anyway. But let's jump into it, Quinn. Now these are in, I think they're in like I thought they were in release order, box order, something like that. I've gone with AMG's order. It's random.
Aren't they alphabetical? Because they start with because then that because start with the other clones.
Yeah, I don't know, but let's jump in.
Well,
let's
start box, doesn't it?
I think it starts with a starter box, but then it ends with pawns. So who knows? Oh, Quinn, the 501st Clone Troopers. So first thing to note, Quinn, and we're going to see this as a common theme, is I'm sorry, just to clarify, okay, just so I can explain what you're looking at. I've only shown the cards that are relevant, right? So if there's been no changes, then I've not shown them. A couple of exceptions, just in case we spot them as we're doing the video. But the front-facing side of the card, the one that's in portrait, like, if nothing's changed on there, I haven't shown it. The old cards are on the left-hand side of the screen, so they'll always be to the left, and the new cards are on the right-hand side of the screen. So, first thing, Quinn, 501st Clone Troopers, they've gained an extra stamina, okay? Stamina? Durability? Stamina. It's been a while.
Stamina, durability is the other one. Yeah.
Durability is the one underneath, yeah.
We're setting that as the precedent for what we're going to call them for the rest of the video, even if we're wrong. Because they have really interchangeable names for some reason,
really
AMG.
Do. Yeah. So 8 stamina up from 7. Needed, Quinn, I'm going to say.
Yeah, it's always been the clone thing of they're made of paper. Why they're literally bred for war, like
yeah, absolutely. So no other changes to the main side of their card, but if we take a look at their expertise, this has got quite a bit better. And actually, looking at it again, Quinn, it's got even better than what I thought, because I just saw a hit to a crit, but actually. The thresholds have changed as well. So on the DC-15A blaster, 1 to 2 is now a crit, where it was 1 to 3 was a hit before, which is just... Ugh. And then 3 up is going to be a crit and a hit. And they've actually got a little bit better in melee as well, Quinn. 1 to 2 is a hit now, and 3 up is going to be 2 hits. Much needed.
I mean, but there's also the tree that's changed. They've gained damage on first result.
Do you know what? I missed that one. We need to keep a tally, right? Here we go. Here is the tally of rich misses, okay? And I'll keep it up as we're. I'll keep a little counter in the corner of the screen, shall we?
Can we have the counter be named Rich Miss Gaming?
Rich's Miss Gaming. Yes. Okay. Counter number 1. Bing. Yes. Yeah. An extra damage. So takes them from maximum damage output being 5 per attack up to 6, which again doesn't sound like a lot, but the positioning of it is really important.
Yeah, you're also getting further down with the better expertise. They always had decent dice pools, and they're a 3-cost support unit, right?
Yeah.
Like, and you're getting conditions for it. Like, they're in a much better place than they were. Like, I think that's an undeniable fact. But like, it's really encouraging to see how much better they are than where they were.
Yeah, and again, we're only talking about, minutiae things, aren't we? We're not talking about ripping them apart and starting them again. Extra stamina, extra damage, better expertise, perfectly balanced 3 now.
I mean, it's the thing we've always said with MCP, right? A couple of numbers here and there can absolutely, like, either ruin or make a character, right?
Yeah,
like,
100%.
Sometimes it only takes minute little things like this.
Yeah. So yeah, overall, Quinn, that's a thumbs up from me. I think that's pretty good.
Are we having a thumbs up and thumbs down counter as well?
I think it's good. Yeah, I think I give that a thumbs up. I think it's a really good change. Nothing crazy, right? We don't want the 501st to be the most elite fighting force the galaxy has ever seen,
I mean,
right?
you'd argue that they should be more elite than most of the clones, but
They should be more
the
elite than most of the
constraints
clones.
of how squads work and the fact that Anakin's a 7 mean that they have to be a 3, so some fat has to be trimmed somewhere.
Well, you say that, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. So yeah, I like that one, Quinn. Ahsoka Tano, Jedi No More. The first of 3 versions of Ahsoka that we have in this game.
Dave Filoni has a pet character, and so do AMG.
We'll leave that for a different time. The vast majority of her card, Quinn, has stayed the same. However, she has a brand new ability, an innate ability at that. You'll find I have many qualities for you to dislike. While this unit is not wounded, characters in this unit and allied characters within 2 add expertise to their defense rolls. I like it. It gives her a little bit of something extra.
It's Chewbacca, right?
Yeah, a little bit of survivability. So yeah, I think it's good. There is one other change, Quinn, that I found anyway, and I'm sure you're scanning to try and get that counter as high as humanly possible, and that is Fierce Protector. So again, there's some sneaky changes in here, Quinn, that I had to read and read and read again. So when another allied unit is wounded by an enemy attack, for some reason, they've changed that when an enemy character wounds another allied unit. So what it means now is it has to be an attack. This doesn't trigger off of... I was going to say...
Grenade.
Bosk's grenade's a good one because I was going to say...
Not
Django's,
so fast isn't what it
not
was
so fast
anymore.
After the effect is resolved, choose a character in this unit. I mean, that's this character. The chosen character may triple heal. Okay? So this now happens before the move. Then the chosen character may advance or jump and then make a melee attack targeting the enemy character that caused the effect. So they've restricted it to attacks only.
Heal first.
The heals come first.
Better movement options.
Because you get the jump. And it's not a 5 dice attack anymore.
Yeah.
It is an attack. So it's quite a big change, really, when you break it down in that way. Now,
yes, some good, some bad as well. Mostly good, but being restrained to attacks obviously is a factor.
It is, but that brings it in line with, because she gets to do the full whack back, that brings it in line with some of the other reactive, what are they called? Identities. There we go. I'm remembering. It's all coming flooding back. Now, there's the thing, isn't there? Because you have to follow the sequence of events. They have swapped around. Heal first, move second versus heal second, move first. Which one's better? Which one's worse? It's situational. If you've got somebody near you who needs to have some damage and things taken off them, then that's better. If you'd prefer to be closer and do it, it's just situational, I think, Quinn.
No, I think like 8 times out of 10, I'd rather have the heal first, just so she can get rid of her own conditions.
Heal first, because if she's pinned, that causes a problem. So I think actually you're right, and I've just thought of that then. Yeah. So again, I would say overall better. It means that no longer does the pin, you can't do anything, work on her. I think it ups her quite a bit, actually, Quinn. I
think I'd also like to quickly note that the new ability also retroactively makes What's the Matter Too Fast For You better, because it only works when she's not wounded, so it gives your opponent an incentive to go fight her, which then means she's more likely to be able to trigger things like Deflect and What's the Matter.
That's true.
Just once again feeding into that like playstyle feedback loop of what she wants to do.
Yeah. No, that is really true, actually. Yeah, it puts a target on her back, but actually, you're either attacking her and guess what, she can just half it, or she can deflect and do some damage back at you. So
not just half it and give half back to you.
well, sorry, half it and throw it back at you as well. There are some other changes to her card. So let's start with her Jarkai side. So starting off, lightsabers, Quinn. Both thresholds and what you get. So 1 to 2, you're now getting a crit hit rather than a hit. You're getting 2 crits at 3 rather than 3 to 4. And then on a 4 up, you're now getting 3 crits.
Nice.
Pretty darn good. Pretty darn good, to say the least. Nothing else, I believe, on this stance changed. The other thing I will say is they've weirdly swapped around how they do 3 damage. There you go. I suppose.
Yeah.
But looking at it from an accessibility standpoint,
it
looks cleaner. Yeah, it looks cleaner, doesn't it? I would say.
And whilst it's not a physical change to the card, but I think it's worth mentioning because it is like a change in terms of your interpretation of the card. You have to remember that when she's not wounded, the thresholds on each of those acrobatics expertise is 1 lower, effectively.
Yep.
So suddenly, like, you roll 2 expertise and you're getting double block, crit to a hit, jump. That's pretty good on 2 with 5 dice.
Well, you whiff and you've still got a block and a crit to a hit.
Yeah.
So,
big deal.
Yeah, pretty darn good. Form 5 Shien reverse grip. Were there any changes on this one? They were. There we go. So she does lose a defensive
but she's gaining
dice.
expertise for free.
But she's gaining the free expertise. So there is another change.
Oh, did you not catch the lightsabers?
I got it.
Hey,
of course I
go.
did. So again, Quinn, an increase in output, and a decrease in threshold. So 1 to 2 is now a crit and a hit, whereas before 1 to 3 was 2 hits. 3 is now 2 crits versus 4, and then 4 up is 2 crits and a hit versus 5 up before. So yeah, and again, similar with the acrobatics there, Quinn, right? Getting much much more from it with guaranteed 1, right? And it's not hard to get 2 on this. I'd see what I do like, Quinn, and I'm hoping we're seeing this trend kind of follow through a little bit more. There seems to be a bit more differentiation between the 2 sides.
Yeah,
and both are useful on her now, I would say.
Yeah. You've got a reason to be in either of them, which is it's just nice to see. Like,
yeah,
and also just her generally getting a bit more punch, like, actually makes it feel like you're not dreading drawing an activation card anymore.
I don't think you were ever dreading, but yeah, she didn't do.
I mean, she was kind of in the Luminara state, wasn't she? Where it's like, oh, I want you for what you do for the team, but I really don't want to go with you.
I really don't want to have a go with you. Yeah, that is very true. Overall, Quinn, what are your thoughts?
She gets a thumbs up.
I think the same. I didn't miss one on Ahsoka as well, so I'm very happy about that. Yeah, same from me, Quinn. And I think it's so important that core box characters are viable in a game. You don't want it to feel like it's the entry point, you play with them for 2 months, and then you put them down and never touch them again. Because, weirdly, the core box characters are usually the flagship characters of whatever franchise because they're there to get people in. It's always an interesting
thing that you have to juggle, right? Is like you want the recognizability of the core box characters to draw people in, but also you can't be too fancy with them.
Yeah, it's always a balancing act, isn't it? Asajj Ventress Sith Assassin up next, Quinn. And again, a couple of changes. She is the first of our characters, Quinn, that has lost something. So she has lost Slip Away. This was a reactive and basically was when another allied Dathomirian or SEP Alliance character targets an enemy that is engaged with one or more characters in this unit, basically she could just slip away, right? She could reposition and then gain a hunker.
Question.
Go on.
How many times have you ever seen this ability used?
Rarely.
I can only recall one time where I've seen it used, and it was in a game involving you.
Did I use it or did you use it?
Ron did it to you.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Remember back when Ron played War Games?
Yeah. Now, it has been replaced, Quinn. She does have a new innate ability called Swift Retreat, which is actually an old ability that has been reworked, and we'll see this on at least one other character in this new form. When this character would advance, it may instead reposition. Not a big thing, but it does mean if you are starting within range 2, so you're engaged with an enemy character that isn't wounded, you can do the full move, which in a game that is more about movement and positioning and zonal control, that is quite big. That is quite
But also
big.
feels very Ventress, right? She doesn't get tied down.
No, absolutely.
Not what she's about.
Absolutely. And then her identity, Sith Assassin, has had a slight change as well. When a character in this unit wounds an enemy unit, after the effect is resolved, refresh 1 force. Then, if it wounded a primary unit or secondary unit, it may reposition. It used to be jump or advance. And then finally, if it wounded a primary unit, refresh 1 force. So if you're wounding a primary unit, you're losing the heals, and it's pretty much staying the same, other than you get a jump or a reposition rather than a advance or reposition.
Which with Swift Retreat would have been a jump.
Would have been
anyway. Like it's odd that they've chosen to put the reposition symbol there. In all honesty, I guess it's just for a clarity thing.
I gather it's for clarity. Why would you put that on her card if she could do it? I suppose it's more other people doing it, isn't it? Or during when she just makes a normal move action. So she's lost a little bit on one side, but force refreshing for wounding anything
is
real good.
Deal. Especially for a character that can spend 4 force whilst healthy during its activation. Getting one back, like making your baseline for a kill, momentum and a force is huge compared to heals.
Yeah, completely agree. Completely agree. So yeah, big fan of that one. And I think overall, throughout a game, you're going to trigger this more than you would do because there are just more other units than primaries on the board, right? That's just...
But it's more the fact that you've got the incentive to hit things that aren't primaries now.
Yeah.
Like, you go after a support or a secondary, you're still getting a force back, which is a huge deal. Not that Seps struggle with force, but if you're running her in like a Dathomir contingent...
Dathomir, yeah, absolutely. And then again, nothing else changed on her card from this side. But Quinn, on her Jarkai, there were again a number of changes. She got some extra damage. So basically, the pin got moved back 1. So that now means on 5 successes, you can either do
a force push,
a whole bunch of damage, or every condition in the game and a force push for free, which is quite nice. So yeah, and then obviously if you do go the full tree, she's now maxing out at 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 damage versus 9 that she was before.
10 puts her in that real assassin range for primary characters, which is definitely where she needs to be.
Absolutely. Primaries shouldn't just be able to easily one-shot anybody in the game, but if you get a good roll, you should be rewarded for that, right? If you're getting 7 successes through, you should be
It's
rewarded.
also the fact that like she's the type of primary that is entirely selfish, right? She doesn't give anything to her team. Like,
Yeah,
sure,
absolutely.
she refreshes force, but she goes through it like no one else.
Absolutely. Now, I nearly missed this one, Quinn, but when I went and did my second pass,
How
I
on
did
earth
see
did you
it.
miss this? This is a huge change.
So no change to the output, but a massive change to the thresholds.
Like a ridiculous change to the thresholds.
1, expertise is now a crit and a hit. If you rolled 3 expertise, that's what you got before. 2, you get an extra crit. That used to be 4. 3 up, you get an extra crit. Sorry, you get an extra hit. That used to be a 5 up. Yeah, this is...
Like, reduce every threshold by 2 is mad. Especially
huge.
when you've added damage to the tree.
Absolutely huge. Yeah, absolutely huge. To the point where I didn't know if I expected her to lose a dice on this side because it was so good. But you know, time will tell. But yeah, I think that's very, very solid, Quinn.
I can very much
very solid.
see Ventress hunting primaries with some Night Sister backup for expose.
Oh yeah. Okay. Form 2 Makashi.
Well, this is a bit different, isn't it?
Everything. First thing to note, Quinn, is she now has 5 successes, okay, rather than the 4 that she had before. So she's got an extra step on the tree. Starts with a push. That is huge. Early push is really nice. It's still the same, right? It's still double push on 3, but getting access to that, swapping the push and the heal around is really, really good. Really, really good. She actually can do quite a bit of damage on this side now, Quinn, as well.
Yeah, she does 8.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 8 damage on this side. Which, yeah, is quite nice. It's a similar type of vibe, really, isn't it? There's heals in there, there's pushes in there, there's movement in there. She has lost her active ability from this side of the stance card. That is worth noting. But she has again gained a few other things as well, Quinn. Twin lightsabers again, output hasn't changed, but thresholds significantly changed. 1 to 2,
all
2
down
crits.
by 1?
All down by 1, basically. Yeah, all down by 1. And, Quinn, duelist training. She dishes out expose on her defense.
Yeah. Like, that's real interesting. Just be like, oh, you punched me, cool, your pants around your ankles.
I'm gonna find a weakness. And when I come back,
or it's just I'm distracting you for someone else, which once again, that's an interesting.
Yep. Yeah. I've got to say, Quinn, I see this Ventress and I'm like, when I inevitably come back to Shatterpoint, which after these changes I will be picking it up again. I think Night Sisters are going to be my first go-to, you know, and
I think that's very fair.
And I think Maul is getting swapped out because
like, Maul's still really good. He's not been touched, but he did.
Oh no! But
best core model by far, I think. Initially,
yes.
Like, it was the most relevant, like, later in the game, right?
Best core box model in the game. I mean, that's a shout.
Like who's he fighting with? Kalani, because Kalani only plays in one variation of Seps, and Seps haven't had a release in how long?
Yeah, fair. But yeah, she now meets that mantra of Sith Assassin.
Yeah.
And that's all that's changed on that on that part there is just the extra crits, but they are juicy. So yeah, overall, Quinn, really like again another thumbs up. And I believe something again where I've not missed anything.
Yeah, so thumbs up for Ventress, thumbs up for Rich Miss Gaming.
There we go. Only one so far. Only one.
Don't worry, the tally will rise higher and higher as we
Oh,
go.
it will. It will. General Anakin Skywalker.
My boy.
Whew. Okay. Where do we start? Well, let's start with I'm going to end this.
What, we're starting with the end?
Yes.
Is this like one of those weird, like, non-sequential storytelling things?
After this unit makes combat action, it may use this ability. Cool. Same so far. This unit may change its active stance. That is new and that is big.
It's huge.
Absolutely huge. Then, one character in this unit may make a melee attack. Now, we'll get on to why it specifies melee attack in a moment. But you do not have to attack the same character or the same unit, even. Yeah, that's pretty big, Quinn.
So good.
Two falls for a double tap.
I mean, it was already very good before. Like, I know Anakin wasn't held in the highest regard, but I think it's fair to say I made him work. And now with what they've done to him, I'm not even going to have to try, am I? This is absolutely brilliant. I'm like a kid at Christmas.
Yeah, this is very, very good. This is getting into the realms for me of the overcorrection.
I mean, how many years have I had to put up with Ghost Rider and MCP? Different AMG game, I get my version of him. I'm down for it.
No, but you know what I mean, though, Quinn, don't you?
Yeah.
It's. Ooh, that's bordering on.
It opens like I was very surprised to read the stance change potential in there. Like
Stance change is huge
thing.
And we'll get on to why that is even more so when we see this. But yeah, deflect is deflect, Quinn. But this is where the fun begins. Okay. Each time a character in this unit wounds an enemy unit, after the effect is resolved, refresh a force.
Oh, well, I'm all tingly. Anakin refreshing force is fun.
I mean, is Anakin Obi-Wan going to be back?
Oh, Annie Obi is back. Anything in Republic is back.
So, additionally, at the end of this unit's activation, and by the way, that top part is completely new, okay? Additionally, at the end of this unit's activation, if it wounded one or more secondary or primary units during that activation, each Galactic Republic secondary and each Allied Galactic Republic supporting character may dash. Now, it used to be, it triggered straight away, and it used to be a heal, but it's now a dash.
You get to dash 6 of your 8 models.
Yeah. Then, if this unit wounded one or more primary units during its activation, move the struggle token 1 space toward your momentum token. Now, the heal to the dash, fine, right? It is what it is. You don't care if you're running in with Obi-Wan because they'd rather have the move because they're going to heal anyway. The reason they've changed this, Quinn, is obviously they don't want you taking out 2 primaries.
You don't want to do like 1 damage to each of them because you've left them hanging by a thread and go, oh, cool, yeah. I gained 2 momentum and pull it 2 my way, and also I've like moved all these guys and flipped these points, and I'll look, oops, I won.
Yeah. So you still get the momentum, but it is only 1. But I mean, the force refresh on there, Quinn, is
it actually means you can force jump him without feeling guilty, which is absolutely massive, because force economy was always the real big like linchpin of an Anakin list. You needed 2 things. You needed ways to move him out of activation, and you needed to not spaff all your force in one go. Yeah. This helps in both regards, because he can move himself, because he's not so guilty about the force anymore.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Yeah.
absolutely huge.
And the fact that, that force refresh isn't relying on a primary or a secondary is huge as well.
Yeah.
And by the way, Quinn, it
It's
is
not limited.
each time,
Yeah.
so he can refresh 2 force as well.
He just goes dead support, which with Gem So he can very easily do. He just goes, cool, I've double tapped for free this activation and gained 2 momentum.
Well, let's cover Form 5 Shien first, Quinn, because that has been quite a few changes to this one as well. Triple push down the bottom remains the same, but yes, access to a very early jump. Reposition has moved on 1 spot. It's taken the spot of where the jump was before, but again, I think that's fine. The push along the top now has been replaced by a strain, and yeah, as I say, the jump is where the is where the heel was. The heel is where the reposition was, and the reposition is now where the jump was. So a little bit of a change.
Bonus damage on the disarm as well. It's nice.
Bonus damage on the disarm. Yeah,
and the shove became a strain.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's an interesting one, that top row.
It means like you've got one very clear shove path and then another path that's a bit of a mixed bag.
Which can sometimes be what you need, right? Like, you know, you sometimes want to be able to do funky things with it.
So they haven't necessarily actually added a damage onto the disarm step. They've just shifted it from the second result down that path.
Ah, yes. So he's now only 3 damage off 2 rather than being 4 damage off 2, which he was before. I mean, this is far more of his utility stance, right? Anyway, this is not.
Yeah, this is the one that you leave him in at the end of his go, so he's not so susceptible to getting punched in the face.
Yeah, absolutely. Slight change to the lightsaber, Quinn.
Extra crit instead of a hit.
Extra crit. Doesn't mind it, does he? Doesn't mind it. Likes a crit. Form 5 Gem So. Let's address the fact that he now has a Force Crush.
Oh, just the name of that ability. Force Crush. Yeah.
Range 4.
Range 4. I was expecting 3.
Yeah.
Like...
Range 4. 6 dice. And obviously, it means that he has a brand new expertise. 1 to 2 is going to be crit. 3 is going to be a crit and a shove. Shove. Yeah, shove is the right word, isn't it?
Shove is the word.
4 up is going to be a crit, hit, shove. Meaning that, you know, he's got access to shoves on this side. But it's not really what he's hoping for, is it? Because really...
This isn't a primary engagement tool. This is like, oh, I couldn't get to the thing I wanted. I'll do this instead.
Yeah. Should we talk about 7 damage from... I mean, it's still 7 damage. It's always been 7 damage.
Like, you're talking to me as if it's news.
Yeah.
This is just Anakin, baby.
7 damage. 7 damage from 3. But yeah, actual tree remains the same. His lightsaber remains the same, and his defensive form remains the same as well. Still 8-5. Do you want me to just go grab a drink while you tell everybody how happy you are with Anakin for the next 15 to 20 minutes?
I don't think much needs to be said. Like, he's just lit. Like, and not in like the, you know, barbecued nugget sense.
I have some reservations.
I think he's now been placed in that same tier as the Vaders. Which is where he should be from, like, he's literally the chosen one, but also I can understand people's reticence towards these changes. I'm not going to sit here and be like, this is perfectly fine and reasonable. Like, it could end up being perfectly fine and reasonable.
Oh, it could be, yeah.
But
100%.
also, I very much am of the position that it could not be very fine and reasonable. We'll have to see how it shakes out.
Yeah, most definitely, most definitely. But I think, I know you had a lot of fun with him, Quinn.
He's
But
my
I think it
favourite.
was fair
Like,
to
he just
say
is.
he needed a little bit of something, and this is the something he got. Like I say, I think overall positive. Very surprised by the ranged attack. I'm not gonna lie.
The ranged attack, like, we knew the ranged attack was coming because AMG told us.
No, we did. But even so,
range 4 is what surprises me about it most.
yeah.
Well, there's two things that surprise me about it, actually. Range 4 and the fact it's on Gemso.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be on the.
I thought it was going to be on Shien to give you a
Yeah.
bit more reason to actually use it, because also then, I think if it was on Shien, the stance change off the back of this is where the fun begins would make more sense.
Well, they don't want to give you everything, right? Because if you could do that,
it was
then
more that, like, it'd be like you get the attack from that, you combat action it, you then do the flip into the aggressive one.
yeah.
But this could get real nasty. Like, if he by some miracle gets to 4 successes going through on the Force Crush and gets the jump and can hit someone for 8 and then jump into melee range of someone, and then this is where the fun begins and start slashing, that's gonna be scary. Like, Anakin is, I'm not gonna say he's a threat because he was always a threat. He's a force of nature now.
I also think the force refresh as well is not to be underestimated.
The force refresh is huge for not only his economy but the rest of his strike team's economy. This now feels like the Anakin, where you know how they always put the Vader silhouette behind him when he's doing something a bit dark side.
It feels more like that, doesn't it?
Yeah, he's got the Vader silhouette behind him, and I am here for it.
Excellent. Okay, Quinn. Next up is Jango Fett Bounty Hunter. Now, I've got a little complaint, Quinn, because when they change the order of things, makes it a lot more difficult to recognize. I thought they'd put them in alphabetical order, which let's keep an eye on that, because I think they may have, but I always like movement at the top. I don't know about you. I feel like...
Yeah, movement, I mean, from what I can see, they've done it alphabetically here.
Yeah.
Yeah, movement,
Just...
I tend to prefer that the shortest one, they go in order of length. Is what I like.
Because it's eat, skim, bit more, isn't it?
It was visually more pleasing to the eye to see it.
Yeah.
You start off thin, it fattens out in the middle, and then it thins out at the bottom again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, jetpack is jetpack. Capture wire, I believe, unless I've missed something, is still capture wire. Yeah, it's the same. What has changed though, Quinn? Not so fast. Still reactive, still cost 1 when an opposing player chooses to activate a unit from reserve. This unit may use this ability. So that's the first big difference, okay? Not just activate. One character in this unit may immediately dash, then make a 5 dice attack targeting a character in the unit that was chosen to activate. This is interesting.
Lot more fair than old Not So Fast.
It is a lot more fair. Is it
as
fun?
The old version of Not So Fast, well, it's fun. Old version was fun for one side of the table and one side of the table only.
Yeah, that is true. That is very
the fact
true.
that the old version effectively skipped an entire turn for somebody, and it wasn't really something that was avoidable given certain circumstances. It was grim. This version is now effectively the same as what people were doing by taking Django with Grief Cargo, right?
Yes. Yep. Yep. Exactly the same. Um, they're both reactive. Does that mean that you can't use them both? Yes, it does, doesn't it? Because they've got the same
Because they've
window.
got the same triggering event. Yep.
Yeah. So very interesting. There are some more changes, Quinn.
Yep.
Oh, there we go. When it works, I'm just looking to get paid. Basically, this has been reduced by 1 force refresh.
Yeah. Which is very reasonable. A secondary refreshing 2 force off a kill was a bit good.
Yeah, yeah, that was rough, especially when you took him with somebody like Cad Bane.
Yeah,
where it
I
was
wouldn't have
4.
minded seeing this be you get 2 on a primary, but
Yeah,
I understand Django was a very negative experience for a long while. Sometimes they take a little bit more than maybe they should as revenge, as it were.
yeah.
But
I think
it'll
the big thing for me was I really, because I know a lot of people did not like Capture Wire either.
Capture Wire is a
Because
very good ability, but
yeah,
you know.
yeah. What I like about this is they've removed his egregiousness, the feel bad, but they've still kept him with the ability to impact 2 separate points during his activation, which I think was a really really big thing for him. So yeah, I think overall, Quinn, yes, Django is now worse as a character, but he is better for the game. I think we probably both agree on that.
Yeah, one thing I would have liked to have seen is maybe an extra dice, offensively for him on his stance card. Just
Yeah,
because
no changes to his
attacking
stance
with
card.
Django never feels great. Or at least it hasn't ever really felt great in the past for me.
I don't think it
Like,
ever really ever does, mate. To be honest with you, because
the things that made Django incredibly good were the things on this card, right? There
yeah,
were never anything to do with his stance card, and it's Django Fett. He should be shooting people like.
better than what he does on this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I
an
think
interesting
because
one.
he gets the focus with the jump. I feel like that
Yeah,
was always the thing with it because he goes from what, a base of 6 up to 7. I
up
want to
to
say,
7, something
yeah,
like that.
which you always getting right. I mean, I don't know.
Well, you're almost always doing it. Sometimes there are situations where you need to go further than a jump would take you. But
Yeah, yeah, that is fair. That is fair. But yeah, overall, Quinn, I think positive for the game.
I think it's good for the game. Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of good for the game, Quinn, Magna Guard. All I could see on the character cards themselves were 1 change, which is going from 10 stamina down to 9. I'm scanning again, and I
Don't
don't
believe there's anything
believe there
else.
are any other changes. 9 feels fair, right? There are 3 cost.
There are 3 costs, but they're melee only. 9 feels fine.
Yeah, yeah, completely agree. However, there have been some fairly significant changes
This is what we call a
to
fall from grace, right?
to this side. First of all, for whatever reason, well, actually,
changed
I do know the reason. The reason that the pin has changed
because of all the
to
shots.
a disarm is because of all the shoves. So somebody with a reactive ability after an attack that can, in their expertise, gets a jump or a dash or something like that that would normally negate it. It doesn't. But the big one is on their Electro staff. And don't get me wrong, Quinn. I don't think any of us think that this is bad.
Nobody that ever played with or against Magna Guard ever thought they weren't good enough. Everyone thought they were too good because they were.
Yeah, 100%.
This is a big hit, simply because they've changed the crit. They've lost the crit off top end, and they've turned one of the crits into a hit earlier on. Like that's a big deal, but equally it effectively just mitigates the likelihood of them getting 3 damage and a double shove very frequently. Also, we're gonna have to warm up that rich miss counter.
Oh, what have I missed?
They've changed the art.
Oh no, they haven't changed the art.
Oh.
I realised afterwards. Some of these cards are that old because I got them off because I have them all saved.
Oh, right.
These, because if you remember, they were originally released in a different language. They were the spoiler ones
these are the Polish ones.
These are the Polish ones, which is why it's called defensive programming.
Defensive procedure?
Rather than defense. No, the actual card is called and defensive procedure. So yeah, these are older, and the text is slightly off and things. It's all the right stats, but yeah. So nope, scratch that one. Still only on 1. Okay, Quinn. Republic clone commandos. Okay, we're going to see this is a bit of a trend. They got an extra stamina.
Hooray!
Good, because they really needed it. Yeah. Also, Quinn, they didn't get worse the more expertise you rolled.
About damn time. Like, I genuinely, I want to talk to whatever intern was responsible for the first one. Like, was it their first day? Like, because that's a big blunder. Yeah. Why do you get punished for rolling better if that's not like the theme of the character like it is for Plip Plop?
Plip Plop, yeah. Much needed, Quinn. Like, I know it's 1 block, but like it just feels better now. Now you get the third and you go, oh cool, I've got a reposition at the back of that, rather than oh, I'm dead. Because I only had 6 stamina before.
They really overvalued protection in the early days, didn't they?
They really did.
Like, I don't think they ever thought one-shotting would be anywhere near as common as it actually is.
It's going to be even more common now with some of the characters.
Oh,
yeah, I mean, they're fine, Quinn. Are they the best clones? No.
Are they at a point where you could conceivably take them? Yes.
Yeah, perfectly fine. Perfectly fine now. Again, I think there's better options, but they are, perfect. I mean, they've still, 8 damage output is still pretty nice. Coordinated fire damage is quite nice.
This does make me feel even worse for those people who like painted these guys up as is it a Mega Squad?
Yeah.
Is it a Mega Squad? Is that what they
No, it's Delta
Squad. Yeah,
Delta Squad. Yeah.
Just because 1, they're coming, and 2, like you're actually gonna maybe put these models on the table now, so you're gonna be real sad to be like, oh, here's my 7 Scorch that aren't 7 Scorch.
Indeed. 212. Now, I've always had a little bit of an affinity for the 212, Quinn. I'm not gonna lie. I like you know me, Quinn. I like shooty things. Okay.
This is a very common theme that I've observed in every single game I've seen you play, tabletop or video. Like you like being a snipey bastard.
I like being a snipey bastard and shooty things. And now my shooty things, Quinn, have an extra stamina, which is nice. But do you know what they've also got, Quinn?
Sharpshooter
1. It's about goddamn time. This is really nice.
Very interesting change I've just spotted down there.
Yeah. So, some new mechanics, really. I mean, let's go through these first of all. DC-15 blaster rifle. So it's not a crit, it's a hit to a crit,
Yeah.
which isn't as good as a crit.
No.
It just
But is it
isn't.
better than a damage?
Yes.
Yes and no. Yes, low to mid end. No high end.
Yeah. Okay. Fair. Fair. Um, it's an interesting one, this one, because
Yeah.
you're right. Just the damage, right? If you get one result and then expertise in the old days, you got a pin and 2 damage, and then if you did it again, you got 3 damage, which was fine.
It was also very nice having your top out at 7.
Yeah. Whereas now they're topping out at 6, but in theory they should be able to get there slightly easier.
Quite a bit easier with the hit to crit thing. Like,
Yeah.
it is a weird one. Like,
Now let's not forget that they have a shooter guy that's could be near them that's going to give them some help as well.
yeah, that is definitely a factor. They've also got better melee expertise, which is nice.
Yeah, I think. Well, and also let's talk about the fact that they're now, potentially going up to 8 dice, right, rather
Yeah.
than up to 7 dice when they focus, which is huge, right? Absolutely huge. Sharpshooter does that? Do they? Is there a? Do you ignore something with sharpshooter?
No, it's just a lot of the characters with sharpshooter ignore hunkers.
Ignore hunkers and cover, isn't it? Yeah, yeah. Which I think would have been a little bit too much for them, but I feel like now at least there can be those back point holders, right? They're in range. First action is a focus, or hey, guess what? We're with Anakin anyway, so we can afford a force now to to get to make a defensive maneuver, and do some shooting, and be happy with pumping out 6-7 damage between the two of them if you're hitting the same target.
Yeah.
I think it's quite nice. There is one other change as well. Oh, I didn't highlight it.
Oh, miscounter.
Is it because I saw it?
Double
Yeah.
miscounter.
Well,
You've missed melee expertise and melee defense.
oh, I have. Oh no, not melee defense.
And ranged defense.
Oh wow, we've had a nightmare. Right.
Oh, hat trick, rich miscounter.
Oh.
Was this is what you get for bigging yourself up after the past couple of them.
So what we're saying that is bash and the whole bullseye training thing on both. Wow. That's
bad.
I've just 4x'd the number of mistakes that I'd made. Anyway,
I do like that they've got better melee expertise just because of that. You know about the background of clone, right? On Utapau.
yes.
The one who fist fights a droid, like punches it and just goes ah.
But they're all trained to the same basic level, and then they branch off, right? Like
If anything, these guys should have crits in melee, but they take damage. That's what I would have liked to have seen. I want them to have ridiculous melee expertise, but they take any damage they do back.
I'm not sure that would have been good. I like them, Quim, overall. I think it's solid.
Yep.
Very, very solid.
Don't think we've had a thumbs down yet. Looking good, AMG.
Clone Commander Cody. We've got a big problem, Quim. Was always a problem.
It was, because it was bad.
They fixed the problem. At the start of this unit's activation, choose an active objective. One character in this unit may jump towards the chosen objective. Then choose an enemy character within 3 that is contesting the chosen objective. If able, the chosen character gains expose. Dearie me. So they fixed it a little bit.
I think they fixed it quite a lot. like quite a lot, quite a lot.
I mean, it depends, right? A jump, turn 1, a jump. I mean, first of all, just the fact that he gets a jump from this, like this, I mean, I would see this as you get the jump.
Yeah, you get the jump.
If you are in range, you get the bonus of
Yeah.
being able to dish out a thing. Interestingly, I want to just quick rule summary here.
Mm-hmm.
If able, so a character that has, let's say, like an Obi-Wan, who has immunity expose, and if they gain an expose, they get a benefit from it. He can't gain the expose, therefore, is he able? Does it trigger? And also, a follow-up one, if they already have expose, because they cannot gain expose. Just to throw some.
I
mean, the answer is
both of them is that they get the expose regardless, but equally, AMG don't understand. Like AMG write their rules in ancient Sanskrit and then put them through Google Translate 3 times before putting them into English. So who knows?
Also, if able is one sentence in this.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure it's not.
Well, in ancient Sanskrit that makes sense, but in English, no. You know what my favourite thing about this ability is?
Go on.
He gets to use his jetpack.
He does get to use his jetpack. It's quite nice for him, isn't it?
It really annoyed me that he didn't have access to a jump when he's the only clone with a jetpack.
Yep, fair. I don't believe again, this was another one of those that they changed the order of things, but I think Say Goodnight Clankers and Bring It Down have stayed the same.
I
believe so. Yeah. So we move on to his blaster rifle. Now, we took the damage away before, Quinn, and we gave them a weird crit thing. How about if we keep all the damage and we give you crits? That sounds better, doesn't it?
It does sound better. That sounds fitting of a secondary character, doesn't it?
Yeah, so gains a crit on 1, which is really nice. Gains a hit on 2 to 3, and then gains another crit on 4 up. Pretty nice, Quinn.
Yeah. The jump is so nice for just giving him a free bit of movement so he can afford to take that action for focusing.
Yeah.
Like,
because he needs to focus.
Ever since Padme came out, I've always wanted Cody to have is it crack shot or instead of defensive maneuver? The thing where you get to do a dash and a focus. Just because then it'd work better with his kit. Like, defensive maneuver is still the worst ability of its type. But it feels less bad. Well, if you're an Ewok, you get the choice. If you're anyone else, you get a focus. Like...
Yeah, I suppose that is true. But I gather these are, under Obi-Wan, they're quite nice.
Yeah, that is another thing I wanted to see changed, but we haven't. I wanted to divorce Obi-Wan from clones, but I'm happy with what I've got, to be honest.
Oh, God, yeah. Don't look a gift horse in the mouse, Quinn. Mouse. Don't look a gift horse in the mouth.
Right, I won't look it in its mouse, but I will look in its mouth.
Okay, that's fine then, as long as you only do that one. I don't believe any other changes
not that
from what I could see. I wanted more Gideon. No, I didn't. I wanted more Gar Saxon. I wanted more Gar Saxon than what he is.
He's pretty Gar Saxon-y.
He doesn't.
Right, he doesn't go as far as Gar Saxon.
Yeah.
But he gives out expose in a world where coordinated fire expose doesn't really exist anymore.
It's actually a really good point, Quinn, because yes, the value of this has gone up, hasn't it?
Yeah.
because of that.
I
Couldn't
think
they
it
have just
does
kept it
massively.
range 5?
That would have been way too good.
I know, but either way.
He gets a jetpack. What more do you want from him? He
An
goes
extra,
swoosh.
an extra dice, range 5. Defensive maneuver that's a focus.
He's already shooting people with 9 dice and he's getting more crits.
He is, yes,
Like,
he
he's
is.
doing his job. Leave him be.
It's, I tell you what really annoys me. Bring it down doesn't work on himself.
Well, no, because he's ordering other people to bring it down.
But but he can.
He's not shouting "bring it down" at himself. It's not it's not like fear is the mind killer. He's not muttering it to himself as he takes aim.
Maybe you should be. Did we ever think about that? Did we ever think about that?
You go and tell him yourself.
Do you want to see some more clones?
Mira Morrison 20 years ago and tell him that he needs to add that to his character.
Will do. Do you want to see some more clones?
Yes, I do.
You're gonna. Get an extra health. Cool. Nothing more to talk about half clone troopers.
Big deal.
This is interesting because Expose was obviously ridiculously good, ridiculously stupid, right? Especially into a primary, right? Where they had a lot of dice manipulation. You turn off the expertise. It just means that the basic units can melt other units that they shouldn't be able to. Supporting fire dash is an interesting choice.
It makes sense because they're scouts, right?
But they're the scouts.
Yeah, it is odd. I will give you that. Tell you what, though, combos really nicely with Anakin.
Oh.
Because he, hits someone or force crushes them. They supporting fire him. He gets to move on, then hit someone.
Yeah, actually, very interesting. Yeah.
I'm surprised by the fact that they haven't gone up in points. Because Pons hasn't gone up in points either.
No, and we'll get to
Mace
that.
has.
We'll get to that next.
Yeah. It's an odd one.
Yeah. These guys still have a really good stance, right? Their stance card is really good.
Some of the better clones offensively.
Yeah. Yeah, just interesting. Interesting choice in the dash. But yeah, I gather it makes sense, right?
They feel like a now.
A character that doesn't have access to in-tree movement. Yeah, and this is the first coordinated fire, I believe, that is after the attack is resolved, isn't it? Because all of the other ones are before.
We've had a coordinated fire, supporting fire dash before.
Have we?
Yeah. I think, is it Phil's clones that do it?
Oh, maybe.
One of the newer releases has the ability.
Okay, maybe then, yeah. But yeah, look, again, good for the game, right? The fact that people were taking these were the 4-cost clones of choice.
Point down. Yeah, it was mental.
Tells you everything you need to know, really, doesn't it? So, speaking of Mr. Windu, Jedi Master Mace Windu, or have you know, Quinn?
Motherfucker Mace Windu.
Far enough into this video now that we can drop an F-bomb,
yeah,
I think.
Exactly.
Yeah. Let's go through his plethora of changes. So, starting out with Shatterpoint. So it used to be, when this unit is chosen to activate with a Shatterpoint card, if its active stance is Form 7 Varpad. It immediately makes a focus action, and characters in this unit have impact 2 until the end of the turn. Now, it's the same part when an allied unit is chosen. Oh no, it's when an allied unit is chosen to activate with a shot.
Yeah, you don't have to pick him anymore. It's a huge deal.
Ooh.
Yeah, he's a scary guy.
So yeah, it's completely changed. So when an allied unit is chosen to activate with a Shatterpoint card, before that unit activates, resolve an effect based on this unit's active stance. If this unit's active stance is Form 7 Vapad, one character in this unit may dash and make a 5 dice attack. If its active stance is Jedi Master, refresh 2 force, and one character in this unit may triple recover. Is that the right word, Quinn? Recover. We were saying recover. Heal. A recover allows you to heal, doesn't it? Yeah. Huge, Quinn. Absolutely huge. There are many times, for a number of reasons, why you do not want to activate Mace Windu.
Yeah.
And this is huge.
Moving the onus of like how his Shatterpoint ability works to just be you're always getting it regardless of who you pick is like such a quality of life improvement.
Yeah, it's absolutely huge.
It takes you off the railroad, as it were, to borrow a D&D term. You're not railroaded into playing with Mace that way.
Yeah.
It's just really nice.
So the other thing that has changed, Quinn, on his card is tempered aggression. When a character in this unit attack or defends, before dice are rolled, it used to be, okay, it wasn't a prepay, it's now a prepay. I'm not sure about this one, Quinn. Like, the re-rolls, I don't like to have to prepay for them.
Well, funnily enough, you're not. Somebody can't read.
Oh, adds one. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Not only are you adding dice instead of re-rolling them, which is like just flat better, it's also innate now, so it works with coordinated fire.
Yeah.
It also means that it isn't impacted by him being wounded and therefore costing more.
I thought it was a bit of a nerf. It's
actually
a bit of a buff, isn't it?
A bit of a buff?
Yeah, that's pretty darn good, actually. Yeah.
Keep in mind, he's gone up in cost, which for a primary means that they should be worse. And he's gotten better in 2 ways so far.
Yeah. Well, do you want to see how else he's got better?
Yes, I do.
Well, he can shoot things now.
I'm down. I'm here for it.
Now, it's 6 dice range 4, so
it's a mediocre attack based on the expertise. Let's be honest.
Yeah, but it is there. It is an option, right? And it's also an attack that has a double push.
Like round 1, or early doors in the game, when you're not quite at the point where you can get engaged. Maybe you've drawn Mace early, and your opponent's only advanced 1 or 2 models up the board, and you can't quite get to melee with them. Being able to do this and be like, get off that point.
Yeah.
Like, it's nice. Also,
yeah.
Expertise, like the top end of it isn't great. Mid-range, like you roll 2 expertise on those 6 dice. Like,
2 successes.
Like, that's pretty good for what would otherwise be a throwaway action without having this ranged attack, right?
Yeah. And when you do get into melee, Quinn, how about a -1 on all of your expertise requirements as well?
That was always the issue with Mace, was that his expertise, whilst the results were great, the thresholds were terrible.
Yeah. Now, they giveth with one hand, and they do taketh with the other.
He's become Han Solo. I hate it. I really hate the Han Soloification of Mace.
I mean, basically, he has lost his blocks. He's lost his blocks.
A block on all the results.
On all of the results.
Yeah. still got a
which,
pseudo block of hit to fail.
yeah, but yeah, it's fine. Like, and as we'll see, Quinn, right? There had to be some balance.
Yeah, so something had to happen. Like the fact that he didn't lose any stamina, like Party's Over is still real good.
Yeah. Slight change to his form 7 as well. So I say slight change. He's got a double strain.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. I don't know if it's a mistake because I've caught a couple of them elsewhere on other cards.
Intentional. I like it feels intentional. Like they've done double conditions and trees before. Iden springs to mind. Like
I gather it's that thing of like if you only get 2, you can do the strain and 3 damage. If you get the 3, you get to do the 5 damage and the strain.
Or I mean, yeah, that's pretty much. Well, if the target is already strained, it becomes really interesting.
Oh,
actually,
yeah.
no, it doesn't because it's the same as going.
No, it's the same.
Like,
yeah, it's
yeah,
the same.
It is odd.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I mean, I gather you can go up, down, up. Like you start at the bottom and
it feels intentional, but I don't know if it's having the effect they thought it would.
But I don't know why.
I think they thought they knew why when they did it. I just don't think it works in practice. Yeah, okay, that's a choice.
It's a thing. Again, down 1 on everything, Quinn, which is really nice.
Yep.
But again, okay, loses basically 1 block off every part of his aggressive defense.
So, worse defensively overall, which I think is fair given that he has 11 stamina and the Party's Over is still what it is. Like, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, and then lastly, just to show everybody, he has gone from being a 6 squad point leader to a 7 squad point leader, which is obviously, as we all know, is backwards in this game. He's gone up in cost, therefore he's technically should be worse. But I think overall, Quinn, even if you ignore the squad point changes, he's got better. I think you add the squad point changes in, and now it means that he can bring somebody other than Pons, which is huge.
Yeah, I mean, they mentioned that they wanted to add a bit of life to Pons because he felt a bit flat. What they've done is just seal him in a sarcophagus that will never be opened. Which I'm really curious when we get to Pons whether they fix the most egregious thing about him or not. We'll see.
I don't think they have.
Oh,
but we'll see.
Have they not? Oh, am I going to be mad?
Yep. Kept for Force as well,
which is about right for a 7. The fact that he
nice.
refreshes 2 in Jedi Master when it's
not his
go.
Was thinking that they could have dropped him because the fact he does refresh, but it's now not reliant on him.
Yeah,
to do it, but
it's still stance based. Like,
true.
I think if they had kept his block in Jedi Master and dropped his Force just off the card,
yeah,
I think that would have been an interesting
that could have worked. But
point.
Yeah, overall happy with it. Mace is now playable, which is what we want.
Yeah, Mace is very playable.
Okay, next up, Cad Bane. He got an era change.
Yep, he's now in all of them.
Which is what it should be, because
yeah,
basically.
I mean, arguably, based on Tales of the Underworld, he should have an era that is before the Clone Wars.
I haven't watched it yet. It's on my to-watch list.
The Cad Bane one, real good. The Ventress one, eh.
I mean, the Cad
You'll
Bane one
like
was always the Cad Bane one was always going to be the best one, wasn't it?
you'll like the Ventress one because it makes Dark Disciple canon.
Oh, I love that. Well, Dark Disciple already is canon. It's it came out after after
Yeah,
they were sold.
yeah, but like books are always a bit dodgy.
They are. They are.
Now that they've directly referenced it in an animated thing, it's proper canon.
Right. This is your opportunity, Quinn, because
Ooh.
I cannot find anything.
Well, they've posted it, so there has to be something.
Yep, I've seen it. How about you step aside? Doesn't cost anything.
Oh, so it doesn't.
But it's really weird because...
Oh, I don't know if that was intended, because that looked like it's just failed to, like, format the force symbol.
Yeah.
Like, it looks like someone's put in, like, the wrong code on, like, a numpad to get that in.
It's like a image should be there, and it's put in a faulty image.
It's the equivalent of like the pink and black missing texture thing from Gmod. Like,
And I think because there is something there is why when I was skimming, I missed it.
I don't know if that's intended to cost nothing. That'll be something that requires.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to be getting some Cad Bane games in before they say otherwise. This is like Dark Troopers all over again.
Well, they wouldn't have posted it if there wasn't something different. So is there anything different in the rest of it?
Not that I can see.
Treasure Force.
I can't see anything.
No, just for me much.
Now, we have to remember, Quinn, okay? This is the flip side to the other side of the card that has changed. So have they given us both? Because when you send them to print, you can get them print double-sided.
Yeah, that's going to be... I'm really not sure.
If that doesn't cost anything, I mean, it's not a huge buff, but...
It's still real good, though.
It's very significant. And it's also unusual to have zero cost. It's unusual to have zero cost active abilities. That's the other thing, right? Not not impossible, but just uncommon. But yeah, that was the only thing I could see. And again, because there's the little thing on there, I wasn't 100% sure. Yeah, so me and Quinn have just checked just to see if they've updated it at all. It doesn't look like they have. I think overall, Quinn, CAD being multi-era is good.
Yeah,
it means he can fit in more places.
Helps him. He can fit in all the bounty hunter lists he wants to now. He can take. Yeah. You can have Cad Bane and Bosk. You can have Cad Bane and Dengar. You can have Cad Bane and Boba Fett if you want. Like it's a lot of options that opens up for him, and I think. Yeah,
I think it actually makes bounty hunters a more viable affiliation faction,
because
whatever
you're
you want to call them.
Stuck with the Clone Wars era ones if you want to take CAD, which for a bounty hunter list you do.
You do want to play CAD, and then look, if and when I'll pin a message on this video. I think this is a mistake. I think this is a mistake. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Aura Singh, Quinn, next.
Well, it's going to be a lot different here, isn't there?
Arguably the worst 5 cost in the game.
I don't think it was arguable. I think it was objective.
I don't know. I'm not a fan of the IGs, but anyway, that's by the by. There's quite a few changes, to say the least, and some of them I really like. Payday doesn't exist anymore for her. Okay,
good. I'm cool
so
with that.
Payday has disappeared. It has been replaced with on contract. It's innate. At the end of setup, choose an allied primary unit and a tag that unit has. This unit has the chosen tag.
So much better.
So much better, right? Because
also,
now...
I got like very brief Andor flashbacks and was about to go on program.
Yeah, this is really good. Really, really good.
This is infinitely better than Payday. You do not pay for it, and it is always on, not
Yeah.
just conditionally on.
Yeah.
This opens up so many possibilities for her as a character. Like, it's real big.
Yeah. Important to know, and we are going to go when we go through the others, she hasn't had an era change. So,
which makes sense because she dies during the Clone Wars.
She dies during the Clone Wars. Yeah. I think it's been long enough now, Quinn.
Who is it that kills her?
Do you know what? I can't actually remember. It's been a minute.
She doesn't die in the Clone Wars. The guy from Solo kills her.
Oh, yes.
Woody Harrelson kills her.
Yeah. So dies after Clone Wars, but yeah. Let's take a quick look at her stance card, Quinn. Changes. So first of all, an extra damage on there.
I like how
overall.
you highlighted one of them red, but not the other.
Well, the red is that she's lost that climb, but it's been replaced with the reposition, which, I mean, a climb is situationally nice, but actually a reposition is just so much better.
Reposition is always useful. Climb can do literally nothing in certain circumstances. Right.
She also has some more damage as well, Quinn. Custom sniper rifle. She's gone from 1 damage on 1 to 2 hits and a damage. She gains an extra hit on 2 to 3 and gains an extra damage on 4, meaning that she now actually caps out at 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 damage.
Oh my god, she's actually a sniper now. Who'd have thunk it? That's what you need to do to make Aura Singh viable.
Let her do damage. She's even better with her custom blaster pistols, Quinn.
Yeah. Basically
again,
a flat extra result at every level.
At every level. And well, yeah, because at 3+ it goes from a hit to a crit, which again is really nice. And I mean, this shows you how bad she was. And she's better at defense as well. She gets a dash on 1 to 2, and she gets a reposition and an extra block on 3 up.
Double block crit to fail on 3+ with a reposition is so good.
Yeah. Now she's a 5 cost, Quinn, so she should be good.
I'm genuinely excited to play Aura Singh, and that is not something I thought I'd ever say.
Yep.
I'm going to actually have to buy the Cad Bane box at some point.
I'm really looking forward to actually being able to play Cad Bane the way that I want.
Yeah.
Which is with other bounty hunters rather than with Dooku. Hadouken, which was always...
You're going to make Aura Singh a Mandalorian.
I mean...
Just find a helmet that has a tiny hole drilled in it for the antenna.
Overall, Quinn, I mean, this is positive, right?
She gets a big thumbs up.
Yeah. This is really good.
Huge buff.
I mean,
I'm interested to see now whether we see on contract go for the bounty hunters as well. I know they are in the thing, but I've not had a look at them yet.
Well, do you want to look at the bounty hunters next?
Sure.
So they've extended their era.
They are generic bounty hunters. So, you see, after the Galactic Civil War, bounty hunters stopped existing. They got Thanos snapped when the Death Star 2 blew up.
Yeah, something like that. So yeah, they're now multi-era.
I like how it does also insinuate that Todo is immortal.
This is true. Yeah, this is true. I cannot find any changes on their card.
Is this a Cad Bane situation where they've just given you both sides for the sake of
I
giving you both sides?
think it is. Because Payday is still there. That was the thing that I was like,
I'm really sad that they don't have on contract, but also I understand why. They're a support unit and they don't cost 5.
yeah. Yeah.
Like bounty hunters were always like a serviceable unit, like
Perfectly acceptable.
No frills, no bells and whistles, but like they did a job.
Yeah. Yeah. Next up, Quinn. Oh well, I mean, look, they're the same unit. You could just play them in more places, right? Like,
great,
fine, absolutely fine. Honda, they're honest businessmen. You know how excited I was, Quinn, for Hondo coming out.
Yeah.
And how disappointed I was. So.
I mean, I remember Ron being even more disappointed.
He's multi-era now.
Interesting that he only goes to Civil War.
Yeah.
Because, as far as I know, we don't have a canonical end for Hondo.
We don't, as far as I'm aware. Maybe in a book, but...
I doubt it. Like, Hondo's not really a book character.
So...
what have we got here?
Nothing.
What? What? What?
Absolutely nothing. Unless I've missed something. But they're all in the same order.
I don't like it here. I want to go back to Orosing. I don't like it here. This is not good. This is not good.
Yeah. Yeah, really strange. Really strange that Hondo didn't get. Didn't get anything.
I've seen like Guam and the Weequay Pirates got changes. Maybe they're hoping that's enough. I very much doubt it is, but we'll see.
Guam.
Oh, don't tell me they've just done that for all of them.
He's multi-era.
Uh-huh. And now the rest of it.
Exit strategy. A new innate ability. Characters in this unit can climb even while they are engaged.
I don't hate it.
I don't hate it. I don't love it.
It's really nice for his evasive. Like, someone comes in and melees you and you just, like, Zoidberg your way up a ramp. Like...
yeah. Weirdly, 1 extra melee dice?
For the sniper character. He's got Pack Hunter, in fairness.
He does have Pack Hunter. He's always had it, right? It's just moved where it is on the...
I think they've just made it like an equal number of dice for Pack Hunter versus in my sights.
Yeah.
Like, he is better.
He is a 3 cost, right? He is a 3 cost.
Yeah, like, you know.
So we need to, Aura Singh, he is not.
Expectations need to be tempered. Like, he's fine. He's probably in a better place than Ponds, let's be honest.
It's a low bar.
Yeah.
He's not wearing the wrong armor. But
don't do it to me.
I mean, maybe the pirates.
Okay, new era, yeah. Sure.
They got a new era.
Mm-hmm.
They got exit strategy.
They just get exit strategy. Don't tell me they just got exit strategy. They just got exit strategy, didn't they? Oh no, extra dice.
They got an extra dice on both.
And an extra block.
On the Weequay Blaster, they get an extra success at both levels.
That's not awful.
It's not awful. No.
Wait, did you miss the defensive expertise?
Nope.
Ah.
I've just their lack of crits.
They're very dull.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
they are not interesting in the slightest, and the fact Hondo has received nothing in terms of a buff. Well, there's always Unit Update 2026, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I okay. Are the pirates better? Are the weak ways better overall? Yes.
Yes. Are they good enough? No.
No. No. No.
Like,
I
they
actually
still,
think.
to me,
I actually
read
think
like
the pirates.
a decent 3 cost.
Pirates. They're a 4 cost.
I know, but they read like a decent 3.
That's what
like...
I mean. Oh. Oh, I've missed one, Quinn.
Oh.
Let me mark it down. That is number 5. Can you find it?
Can I find it?
They've gone up a stamina.
Oh, they have,
They're
yeah.
9 stamina.
I started scanning the stamps card and couldn't find a damn thing. Okay, like...
We didn't miss that on
Guam.
Hondo, did we? No, we didn't.
Hondo's still shit. Didn't miss it on Guam either.
No.
Oh, dearie, dearie me.
But yeah. Like, just Hondo just isn't, and the pirates overall, the weak ways are just not what I wanted. But
I assume you don't own that box.
No, I do.
Oh, why?
I own every box that came out up until January this year. Most of them are still in the cellophane.
Funny that.
Should we take a look at some?
Stay that way.
Should we take a look at some Inquisitors?
Go on then. Let's make Phil happy.
4th sister. So, couple of different things. So I mentioned it earlier. Swift Retreat. So Swift Retreat. This is the one that we saw new for Ventress. It used to be when this unit is wounded by an enemy effect, after the effect is resolved, one character may reposition.
Oh, I'm dead. I can run away now. What a fantastic ability.
Swift Retreat, as we know what it is, right? Which is nice. I had a good old look at Inquisitorial Mandate. Nothing has changed there, but she does have a couple of other buffs in the form of a ranged attack.
Oh wow, you know that thing that the Inquisitors are known for, like throwing their helicopter lightsabers, she can actually do it now. Who'd have thought?
And it's a... She's got a
spicy attack.
She's got a strength 7 attack. Which is spicy. Yeah, I mean, obviously it brings
the expertise gives you dashes. Like,
yep.
That is reminiscent of, like, Pursuit on Angela in MCP. Like, this is the thing you use to close the distance.
Yeah.
Like it.
Yeah. Also, loses a melee attack, but that makes sense. You can't have a 7/7.
Yeah.
Support,
I like that she's now, like, the ranged Inquisitor. That's kind of cool. Yep. It gives her an identity.
It does. She's gained a reposition. On her tree, which is interesting, right?
A reposition that doesn't necessarily eat into anything else, because you can just go down and up.
You've got an extra result. You're going to get that. You're going to get that reposition, and then a dash on her Inquisitorious training. So overall,
she's very nippy.
A huge amount of movement.
Yeah.
Huge amount of movement that she can get off this.
They've done a really good job of giving her an identity. I really like it.
Because before she was just the worst.
She had forceful, and that was kind of it.
Yeah,
Like, that was her thing.
yeah. Now she is in the category for me of like a Django, right? Where I can affect 2 points during my single activation.
Yeah. And,
Which
well,
for
3 points. Pull
well,
someone off
yeah,
one, kill someone on another with the throw, run on to another one.
I'll run on to another one. Yeah. Probably asking a lot, that one, but yeah. But potentially, yeah. I and you have to remember this is obviously a single unit
Single model
support,
support. Yeah.
right? Single unit model support, single character support. So yeah, I think she's pretty good.
Yeah. Solid.
I think she's pretty darn good. Grand Inquisitor Fallen Jedi.
Oh.
Couple of changes. First of all, secrets uncovered.
Have they made it actually worth using?
There is no range.
Fair enough.
So, yeah, I mean, just to be able to take any point on the board you want and just take it
Well,
off your
not take
opponent.
it. You just go.
No, take it off your opponent
But
for,
like, if your opponent's like pushed up hard and like left nothing in their back line, you just go that back objective. Yeah, you're gonna have to go back and get that now.
yeah,
I'm not going for it, but you're gonna have to.
yeah. I really like it.
I was really hoping you'd get an ability that was just hello. That was like my favourite thing that Richard Friend did. Just hello.
Tempo records are quite complete. This has changed. It's been now broken down into 2 parts. So when a character in this unit is targeted with a melee attack, it used to be only by a force user. Now it is by anybody. They may change their stance. And then, if it's a force user, they can add 2 dice to their defensive roll. So nothing has gone away from it.
It's just a bit more accessible.
It's more accessible.
I mean, also it makes sense. They kept records on people who weren't Jedi. I'm sure Cad Bane's got a file in there.
This is the biggest one, Quint.
Oh.
Clearly, you're a pro student. So the identity. When an allied galactic empire character wounds an enemy unit, after the effect is resolved, refresh 1 force. And one Inquisitress character may heal. Then, if the wounded unit was a force user, refresh another force, and 1 allied Inquisitorious character may, let's use the correct terms, recover.
Also, I think the correct term is actually heal. The action is recover.
Is it? I can never remember which way around it
you
is.
take a recover action to gain a heal with each character. A heal can then be used to remove a condition or a damage, I think.
Either way.
It's semantics, and it doesn't really matter because it's a symbol.
And this is a pretty good identity, Quinn.
Yeah. Like the fact that he's not entirely bound to the Inquisitorious, which makes sense, because a lot of the time you see him, he's not with any Inquisitors.
Yep, absolutely.
Also, one of the best models I think they've done.
Oh,
in terms
beautiful
of just,
model.
like the actual look of it. Getting to see that on the table, or I'm down.
Yep, 100%. 100%. Doesn't stop there. He's formed to Makashi. He gets an extra little bump on his defense. Goes from 5 up to 6. And that's it. Do you want to chase that? Do you want to let's do that and just make sure. I don't believe anything else changed. I did check and check and check, but it's always worth having a second set of eyes look over it. I don't think anything else changed.
I don't think anything's different.
No. Form 5 Gemso. He gets a few things. First of all, his ranged attack goes up to 6.
Expertise is better. That's nice.
His
Defense is, yeah.
defense drops. His thrown lightsaber goes up. Get some dashes on there with jumps now as well. And it's double crit rather than crit hit. Which again, you know, is nice. But yeah. I think they've turned him into a very, very viable character. And
he is super viable. Yeah.
Very viable alternative to what the norm is now. Which I think is the big thing. I think that's the really, really big thing there.
Just breaking things up and giving people those up. Also, you get to the end of that tree now, you're actually pretty happy because you just go, and that one's gone.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm down for it.
Yep. Yeah, it's pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Third sister.
Oh, everybody's favourite character, Reva.
Let's be honest, the biggest problem child in this goes from 8 to 9 stamina, which is...
It's already... we're off to a good start.
Which is nice. Call the Hunt.
Now free.
Doesn't cost anything.
Good.
So it will do. Obviously, it's a 0 cost, but it will go from 0 to 1 if she's, got one, been wounded once. But
also improved by the fact that Fourth Sister has a ranged attack.
Exactly. Yeah, so quite nice. Your fear betrays you.
Oh my god, it's free.
Not only is it free, Quinn. I mean, they've actually taken out the melee part of it, even though she doesn't have a ranged. But yeah, it's free. But whereas before, remove 1 or more conditions from the defender, add 2 dice. This is the attacking character may re-roll a number of dice in the attack roll up to the number of active objectives controlled by opposing players.
That's really cool. I like that a lot.
Yeah, it's pretty damn good.
Is there a really weird list that's like Hondo Third Sister?
There could be.
Oh, I get force back for how many you control, and I reroll dice for how many you control. Ooh. That sounds like something Dan Humpage is going to play at an event on, like when he spins it on a wheel.
Access to an extra damage along the top.
And it becomes a pin.
And it becomes a pin.
You didn't mention it. I think you might have missed that, Rich Miss Gaming.
Doesn't count. That's not a miss. That's not a miss.
Whoa. It is. You haven't highlighted in red that other box, which is the precedent you have set previously. Add it to the counter. Put it on the tally.
Deary me. 1 third sister.
It's not my fault that you're being hoisted by your own petard.
I know. She gets 2 extra melee defense dice.
Oh my god, she's not worse than a clone in melee defense territory. Wow.
But the buffs don't stop there, Quinn. We've got crit now on 1.
Yep.
The bar has been, or the threshold is lowered as well.
Yep.
So it's now on a 4 up, and it's 2 crits and 2 damage, which is just so much better than a crit, 2 hits and a damage. And on her defense, vicious defense, bar has been dropped by 1 on each of them as well. She's really good.
She is like not only playable, she's viable.
I think Inquisitors in general are.
Yeah. I mean, I'm interested to see what the Inquisitor Vader changes are. Like, obviously, that could impact them, but I get the feeling it might just be a tightening of the bootstrap around who's allowed to use what with regard to him.
Well, we will see, won't we? We will see. But yeah,
we'll see right now.
This is the type of change that is good for the game. Taking a character that was not played. I think she's... I mean, what's she capping out at now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 damage. So she can actually kill a clone now.
And
yeah,
not just an old clone, a new clone.
a new clone as well. Luke Skywalker Jedi Knight.
Have they made him a bit more interesting? Yes, they have, because he's changed his identity.
I am a Jedi like my father before me.
Oh, wow, he actually does something for other people.
Yeah. While this unit's order card is in the order deck or in reserve, this unit and all Rebel Alliance units within 5 have immunity expose. While this unit's order card is not in the order deck, this unit and allied Rebel Alliance units within 5 have immunity pin. So basically what they've done is taken what he did for himself and giving him a range 5 bubble. So the actual ability hasn't changed. It's now just got a range 5 bubble that includes everybody in there as well.
Which is huge. Like, range 5 aura of immunity to expose is real good.
Yeah. That is only Rebel Alliance, but that's fine. That's what it should be.
That's who you're playing him with. He's like a leader in the rebellion. Like,
yeah. Yeah. Also the worst Luke artwork I've ever seen in my life, but
I mean, for a start, where's his robot hand? Still haven't fixed that, have they?
Nope. Yeah, positive.
Is this more or less egregious than Pons' armor?
I mean, it's as bad continuity-wise.
I think this is less egregious because fixing this would have required new artwork.
I think
whereas fixing Pons requires new text.
I think this is more egregious. Arguably, Luke is at worst in the top 3 known Star Wars characters.
Is he still?
Yes.
Number 1's Vader.
But, okay. And everybody knows the Vader scene where he's cut off his hand. Like... but yeah, positive Quinn, right? Again, nice. Yeah. We've got another rebel leader now that is most definitely viable. Dark Troopers. Okay, we're getting into the realms of people who need a little thing taking off them here, Quinn. And starting off, we're going to take a stamina off them, take them down from 8 to 7. I've highlighted it. It's always been this, but obviously, if you're going to reprint a card, then you put the right things on there. Combat droid.
Big change.
It needed to happen.
They are now clones defensively. They're slightly better in terms of when they get what they get, but yeah, they're no longer. It needed
to happen.
What's like the most famous scene involving Dark Troopers?
It's where Luke rips them to shreds as he's going to meet Grogu.
Where he just runs through them with a lightsaber, like rolling a bunch of crits.
And it's really weird because they use that song, don't they? I Need a Hero in that one.
Yeah, it got really off key for Star Wars, didn't it?
I'll put a clip in here. Yeah, this needed to happen, Quinn. Right, supports negating crits with protection.
Like, once again, this nerf opens up the door for all of the other Imperial supports out there, right?
Yeah, absolutely. This is a bit like the ARF Trooper nerf. Different ends of the spectrum in terms of what they do, but it's like, okay, now I can actually take something else and
not feel
still
like
be
I'm
competitive,
in the foot. Yeah.
And not feel like I'm playing with one hand tied behind my back. So yeah, it's a nerf, but it's a nerf that needed to happen, and it gets a big thumbs up from me, Quinn. They're still good, right? Their damage output and what they can do is still really, really good. But as you say, you're just not going to see them everywhere, which is where they were before. Chief Chirper, Quinn.
Ewoks
have had some buffs. Starting off, mobilize the village. This is board wide.
That's pretty good.
So while this unit is not wounded, characters in other Ewok units add 1 die to their attack rolls. So pretty nice. And we also get bright.
Kalani.
Bright Tree Defender. Well, no, even Kalani still has a range requirement, right?
But it's not like to Kalani.
No,
You know what
no.
I mean?
When another Ewok unit becomes wounded by an attack, after the effect to resolve, roll an attack die on a crit or a hit result. Each character in this unit may reposition, make a 5 dice attack. On an on a fail expertise, each character in this unit may dash and heal 2. Big difference here, Quinn, is this used to be while this unit is not wounded. It now just works.
Like you don't shut him down and just ignore him for the rest of the game until he goes again.
Yeah, which is how it was, right? Because you turn off his mobilize the village, and you turned off his Bright Tree Defender. So, look, it's actually quite a big buff, I think. Like mobilize the village being board wide is pretty darn good, and the fact that it is only other, okay, so it doesn't affect himself. Weirdly, Quim, they've changed it from other allied to other Ewok units. That implies that your opponent gets it in a mirror match.
So is the play like in the Ewok meta that we're clearly going to see
The
to
Ewok
like
meta.
not play chirper in the hope that your opponent does, so you get the benefit but don't give them their own benefit back.
Yep. Why? Just learn how to write. I mean, this is clearly other allied Ewok units, right? Like, it has to be. You're not going to give your opponent a board-wide +1 to their die. But yeah, couple of changes on his card. His spear, he gets... Oh, he gets a crit. On 1 now he gets a crit rather than a hit. So, yeah, like...
nicer
fine.
for those 5 dice attacks, I guess.
Yeah. Fury of the Forest. I don't know if anything... No, nothing changed on this one whatsoever. Unless, again, Quinn, you want to play the Can I Catch Rich out. But I believe I got this one right.
The formatting on the recovers, but it doesn't really matter.
You know that one.
Like that's not a thing to catch you out on. I wasn't insinuating that.
And again, they do look better side by side, right? Rather than up and down. That's really weird. Okay. Obi-Wan Kenobi out of hiding, Quinn. Let's get on to some of the good stuff. Mind Trick. It's now cost 1.
How it's meant to.
When an enemy character within 5 targets an allied character with an attack, this unit may use this ability. If the attacking character's unit does not have disarm, it gains disarm. That is it. It doesn't stop the attack. They don't remove dice from their roll. You're not measuring from the target that is defending rather than the attacking one.
You're not mind tricking your ally to stop the enemy hitting the light. Absolutely did my nut in that.
Yeah.
Like,
My only other gripe with this, even though it's on the forums, they could have rewritten run. So it was clear. That's my only gripe. Like, we know how it works, but if you were reading this for the first time, you don't know, right?
There's one change that they haven't done that I would have liked.
Go ahead.
I would have liked him to have been moved to Rain. He should not be in Clone Wars. We have an Obi-Wan for the Clone Wars. This one didn't exist during it.
Yep. Yeah. Both of them can't exist.
You have the Rain era. Use it.
Yeah, that is fair. That is very, very fair. Darth Vader Jedi Hunter Quinn. I know you were looking forward to this one. Nothing has changed apart from your hatred makes you powerful. When an allied Galactic Republic or Galactic Empire character makes a melee attack as part of a combat action, yada yada yada, it's still 3 dice. But it is now restricted to Republic or Empire. I'm not sure how I feel about this one. I just think he shouldn't have the Galactic Republic tag.
I would be okay with him having the tag if he was only in rain onwards and they had made it so the 501st could be played in rain.
Fine.
Yeah. Like, it would have been a very simple thing to do, because the reason he's like Republic at all is because, you know, the 501st stick around as a unit in the Empire for a while.
But they're an ex-Republic unit in the Empire.
Yeah.
It's not that the Galactic Republic still exists. I'm pretty sure somebody announces it.
Something, no Galactic Empire.
Yeah, and then they turn him into Vader.
Yeah.
Look, it mitigates it somewhat, but really,
I mean, it's stopping Mandalorian super commandos doing stupid shit. Like,
this is true. This is very, very true.
Stops Maul doing stupid shit.
Also very true. Yeah.
Like,
yeah. So, look, it's good that they've closed it in. Not as much as we'd have liked, but it's still good that they've done it.
It'll do, pig. It'll
do. Gideon Hask. First thing to note, Quinn, is he now no longer has any stamina or any durability.
Either we read this as him being immortal or dying the moment you put him on the board.
The latter. Yeah, and also, I've just realised what I've done there is highlighted his crotch. Okay.
I'm not going to comment. Like, you do you.
Do you want to see the changes? It's the one that we all wanted. Defiance will be the death of you. When an allied Galactic Empire supporting character makes an attack as part of a combat action, if the target is within 5 of a character in this unit, the attacking character may change 1 failure to 1 hit.
Like, this ability has taken so many much deserved hits.
Yeah.
Supports only. Has to be within range of him. Targets fails, specifically. Like, it's so much... Like, it's so much more reasonable than it was.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. And it still feels fine. He's still fine, right, as a character. He's still got covert operations. He's still got Long Live the Empire. May we live up to our name, right? He, you know, he's a secondary unit with a clapback. Like, he's still fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, this, by the way, more than any other thing that we've seen with the nerf of the Empire, this is the one. This is the one that means that those little changes we've made that have been made to everybody else, this is the one that also brings the whole Empire down, Quinn. Who knew? If Palpatine only knew that Gideon Hask was the real one that was holding the Empire up.
Ever since he was released, I've felt like, you know, Cassian Andor. I've just been sat there like, rebellions are built on hope. Like, we just have to hope that they do something about him.
Yeah, much needed. I'm going to assume he stayed in 8-2. I don't see that changing.
I mean, I could see maybe they buff his health by 1 to counteract what they've done to him, but like, I don't care either way.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
it's negligible.
Next up, Imperial Special Forces. I can't find anything. Oh no, I did find something. I remember it now because we found it together, didn't we? But it's in a bit of a wrong order. So, ISF doctrine has changed. They have lost quite a lot of damage.
Yeah, deservedly so, I'd say.
Yeah,
They've also shifted down the reposition by one, so, give and take.
give and take. Yeah, but being able to do, what, 2, 4, 6, 8, 16 damage, going up to 17 on the second attack if you attack the same one. Like, yeah, far too much. And they gained the trooper tag. Now,
Woo.
it might have an impact. We couldn't work it out. Let us know in the comment section. If you know what that changes, let us know down in the comment section below.
There will be something, because I know there are things in the game that refer specifically to troopers,
Yeah.
but I cannot off the top of my head think of them.
No, neither can I. Neither can I. But yeah, fine. Like they were very, very overtuned. Elite squad troopers, Quinn, get some changes because these guys used to give out expos, and they don't anymore. So instead, they have got supporting fire hunker. So interesting. Like, I suppose you get rid of hunkers at the beginning of your turn, so it's a way of being able to get one back on them. It's also after the effect is resolved. So anyone who needs a anyone who gets a bonus from a hunker, I don't know if there is any in the Galactic Empire at the moment. Like, this isn't going to work for them, but hey, it's there. But they also get a supporting fire heal.
Shore troopers get a bonus for having hunkers in Empire. There you go.
Oh, there you go. But it is after the effect is resolved, so they wouldn't get it.
Well, there are ways of making the shore troopers attack out of activation. So if you set it up like
there you go,
helps your active economy,
There you go. I like the heal. It just means that if you have a character that's got a strain on them, for example, and you want to make an attack with them, you can. Oh, interesting. Timing on strain after the effect is resolved. Strain is also after the effect is resolved, I believe. So do you get to choose? I think you may do.
I think you would, yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, they can't use both at the same time. That's just not how it works. But Quinn, they have some other buffs.
Yeah.
They go from 6-4 to 7-5 on their attack dice. And
they've got the 212 treatment.
They've got the 212 treatment. They've got the funky hit to a crit. Which is weird when you've only got 4 success options. Like, don't get me wrong, crit on 1 is still nice, but I don't know. 7 dice. It's quite a lot of dice, isn't it? Especially when you've got sharpshooter 1, Quinn, and you've got tactical advance, so you're going up to 9.
Yeah, the fact that they get the focus off the back of the tactical advance, like it puts them like a league ahead of the 212.
No, but my point here is that you're rolling 9 dice for an absolute maximum of being able to get 4 successes.
Yeah. But the payoff for getting to the end of those 4 successes is
big. It is big. Yeah.
Like, realistically, you could make that the last step of that tree 2 damage and then add another step that was another 2 damage. Like, would that make you feel better about it? Not really. But
fair. Yeah, that is fair. But yeah, there we go. Or do you know what? Having it a crit damage and then 3. I don't know. It just feels strange to be rolling 9 dice when you've only got 4 potential.
Concentrated firepower, isn't it?
Yeah, I suppose.
You just put in the oomph where you need it.
Your favourites next, Quinn.
Ooh. Yes, I am a child from the late 70s. I love C-3PO. He's my favourite.
It's gone down in cost.
I couldn't care less.
Go down to a 3 cost. They've gained some really interesting stuff. Forget that there are a couple of droids that you don't like.
Whoa. I like one of them. One of them's alright. He's loud in the cantina. The other one could piss off.
Brilliant oration. So it used to cost 1. Now it costs nothing. Choose an allied Ewok supporting unit within 4. The chosen character may dash, heal, gain hunker, or make a 5 dice attack. Then, one character in this unit may dash, heal, gain a hunker, or make a 5 dice attack. So they've removed the cost and effectively doubled what it does on a model that has been knocked down by 25% in their cost.
Provided dashes.
Yeah. Can I just say, Quinn, to anyone who ever questioned us on how bad C-3PO and R2-D2 were, like, that alone, okay, shows you how bad they were. They've gone down in cost from a 4 to a 3.
And they've been buffed.
They've been buffed, okay?
To be honest, I'm surprised that AMG didn't manage to get Anthony Daniels to show up and like wave his arms about and go, "Oh, look at the new Shatterpoint releases," because he will do absolutely anything.
Anything for money, yeah.
Not a fan of that man.
R2, I'm not sure that's such a good idea, has also changed. When an Allied Rebel Alliance unit within 4 or an allied Ewok unit within 4 starts its activation, this unit may use this ability. The activating unit may remove 1 condition from itself. This used to be, Quinn, range 5. Okay, so it's gone from 5 to 4. But it used to be the activating unit may remove any number of conditions from itself, then suffers damage for each condition it removed.
Yeah.
After the first. So I would say overall a buff. Because yeah. Divine Influence has also changed. When this unit's active stance is against my programming, allied Ewoks within 5 have scale, and allied Ewoks within 5 can climb while they are engaged. So it's gone up a range, and they've got an extra little thing
where they can climb while engaged. Yeah.
And when this unit's active stance is angry trilling, allied Ewok characters within 5 have steadfast. So that's gone up again by a whole range, right? And 4 to 5 is not insignificant, right? Yeah. It's
2 inch difference.
It's pretty big.
Is that what you tell her?
Yeah. Nothing changed on Bash. Sorry, nothing changed on angry trilling, but on Bash.
I could have sworn I saw something on angry trilling while.
Am I going
mad?
mad?
Imagining things.
No. Okay. Good. They have lost their active ability, and
because they don't have an active ability anymore.
Because they don't have anything. One, and they've gained a pin. So the disarm has moved down 1, and they've got a pin. Fine. I actually think with those changes,
they're a viable alternative.
Yeah, like I really do think now with that range 5, like
I mean,
I think they,
also, like, you take them with Leia, and suddenly, like, your rebel troopers are Ewoks, so you're getting them to, like, move and heal and shoot people. Like, could be worse.
yeah. And I think for a 3 cost, yeah, definitely viable. Low grey, similar treatment, really, Quinn. Protective wards, which is the defense dice version of the other one, has now had the range removed.
Yeah.
Weirdly enough, is allied still, whereas the other one isn't. I still think that's a mistake.
No, this clearly insinuates that it was intended.
Indeed. And then secret ingredients. It used to be each time an allied character wounds an enemy unit, roll an attack die. Have I got this wrong? Maybe it didn't change. Oh yeah, no. I tell you why I highlighted this, Quinn. It's the same, but it now says after the effect is resolved, which is obviously giving a timing to it. But I thought it was interesting that they'd added
I
that
think
in.
that's just neatening things up.
I think so as well. Yeah,
I don't think
so.
it's meant to have any substantial change. It's just we translated our ancient Sanskrit bad. Let's fix it.
And then lastly, Quinn, is Commander Pons. Now, it is actually quite nice what he's got. Charge.
Isn't it now?
At the start of this unit's activation, choose a character in this unit or an allied Galactic Republic. The chosen character may dash. So he can choose himself.
Great.
He can choose himself. The other one looks like it's changed, but it's just like the way it's been formatted. But I believe it's the same. Like, I couldn't see any difference. It just now states after putting the first primary character from that squad on the battlefield, put each character in this unit.
No.
It has changed.
Yeah. So he deploys 2, then the supports deploy 1 from him.
Okay. That's interesting.
Which does give, like, further range.
Yeah. That's very interesting, actually.
Like, it gives you a base and a range 1 worth of extra distance.
Yeah.
Like, it's not bad.
Well, 212, right? All of a sudden, that jump that they've got.
Jump?
That dash that they've got gets them in range.
Yeah, potentially.
Yeah. Still no mention of his armor. Because we all know that's what you meant, Quinn, right?
Yeah, because I don't know about you, but that doesn't look like Phase 2 clone armor to me.
Well, do you know why it doesn't look like Phase 2 clone armor, Quinn?
Is it because it's not and he dies before it's ever rolled out as standard issue?
This is correct. So Quinn, that is everything. Obviously we haven't play tested anything yet, and it's always translating words on a card or on a screen to the tabletop. It's not until you actually start playing, is it, where you really start to feel the synergies and things like that. But what are your initial thoughts?
Overwhelmingly positive. Don't get me wrong, there are a couple units that I wish had been included, namely Kanan, Callus, Leia, Charming Princess. But I think with the rise of everything else, like the massive increase in available like options and strategies that are viable, you'll see less of Leia and Kanan anyway, because people will be bored of it, they won't want to play it. People that do play it, like, people know how to play against it, they have more tools to play against it now.
Yeah.
Empire being hit the way they were, massively fond of. It now feels like we're approaching something close to an equilibrium between the different eras now, because there was very much a Galactic Civil War, let's call it what it was, boomer bias. Like, it's not my fault that AMG like the lesser era of Star Wars, but you know, it is what it is.
I don't even know if it was. I don't even know if it was that. I think it was. You know, they started with Clone Wars, didn't they?
Yeah,
and they got more complex as they went into, and there was definitely power creep. Huge amount of power creep.
Like, I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like sometimes when AMG go a bit too complex, they start to struggle with making things work as intended.
Yeah, sometimes.
Maybe it's something to do with the intricacies of ancient Sanskrit that they write things down in initially. Like, could be some grammatical issues, like, you know, maybe they don't translate so well to, like, you know, like the weird Latin Germanic mix that is English. Yeah, like,
I think overall positive. Couple of disappointments, as you said. I'd have liked to have seen something on Hondo.
Anything on Hondo, yeah.
Yeah, something on Hondo. Again, I'm a bit like you, Quinn. My initial thoughts were, okay, some of the, like, I think Empire is sorted, right? They don't need. Iden was never the problem. It was always Gideon. I think the changes to everybody else, making them more viable, as you say, kind of brings them up so that Kanan Leia feels less egregious. Time will tell, right? If they're still winning things, you know, if they just fill the void that the Empire have left, then that'll be not great. But we will see. Clones.
You know what Empire's biggest issue is now?
Choice.
No, the fact they've got an enormous Krennic model for some reason.
Oh God, have you seen that?
It's so bad. It's so bad.
I will, if I buy Krennic, I will get a 3D print.
Yeah, it's got to be a 3D print.
It's like 125% scale, isn't it?
Well, the really interesting thing is, in the promo images, which are obviously
it's the normal
like
size.
Well, no, I think he looks really small in those. Like when he was initially shown off, I thought, like scale-wise, he looked smaller than he should be. I know Ben Mendelsohn's like 5'10".
Yeah, he's not super tall, is he?
He's like a little bit taller than me, but like he seemed really small compared to everything else in that box. In a way that I don't think he should have been. Like, I think there was a happy medium in between, you know, the concept model and what we got, and they just. I feel like somebody told them to like increase the size of the model based on what they had initially, and they just picked a number that was too high.
By maybe a factor of a lot. Yeah, that is a bad model. I need to catch up. Like, I've not really done any Shatterpoint. And I'll tell you what this does for me, Quinn, is it gives me some enthusiasm to start building a list again and getting a couple of games in, and seeing how it plays and how it feels, which I'm sure
I
will
say the newest mission is absolutely bonkers, because I played a couple of games in preparation for this drop, just trying out the new stuff like Yadimundi, Krennic, that sort of stuff. The new mission is absolutely insane.
In a good way?
It is wild. Like on struggles 2 and 3, just midway, you can change what actual the mission layout is.
Oh wow, okay. That's
So if someone's winning, you can pay a force and just go, yeah, I want a new card with a new layout. It's what. Also, quickly want to mention, somebody else got a stealth buff. They weren't shown in this at all, but you know who came out of this massively winning?
Go on.
Plo Koon, best Jedi.
I've not actually played with Plo Koon yet.
So his identity lets other units use his defensive expertise, and he gets an expose off the back of it.
Yes, I have seen that.
Now that there is only one unit in the game that has coordinated fire expose, it's actually useful because it's not in every list.
Yeah, that is fair. That is very fair. Yeah. Right, guys, we're going to leave it there. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Let us know down in the comment section below if we have missed anything. I'm sure we have. But I think we did a pretty thorough job there, Quinn. I felt like it was pretty good.
And what was the tally at the end? Did it sit pretty on 4 or did it go up to 5?
No, it went up. It went up to 6.
Ooh,
because
6.
You said that I didn't put a little red symbol in for the third sister.
Didn't. Once again, it was your own petard that you were hoisted by.
Indeed, indeed. Guys, I want to give a big shout out to all of our Patreon members, YouTube members, and anyone who has bought merch from us. If you do want to support us, you can do so from as little as £1 a month. You can go down to the description for Patreon, description for a link to our merch store, and also just hit that join button to become a YouTube member. But you don't need to do any of those things, just simply liking, commenting, subscribing really goes a long way. And for those of you that have been asking where the Shatterpoint content has been, I just haven't been playing Shatterpoint. I'm going to be coming back to Shatterpoint. I always knew this was going to be a turning point, so I will 100% be coming back. So expect some more Shatterpoint stuff in the future, and maybe even a couple of games as well, where me and Quinn test out some of these newly buffed models. Like I say, I'm really looking forward to Dathomir. I'm looking forward to trying real bounty hunters, Quinn. That's.
Are you sure you want to televise what I'm going to do to you with Anakin?
Let's go. For it.
You know how the film cuts away from him killing the younglings? Well, I'm sure, like, YouTube has some sort of guidelines that aren't going to let you show what I'm going to do.
Master Skywalker.
And then it just cuts to the Rogue One corridor.
Guys, check out Loyalist Games, sponsor of the channel. Link down in the description below for £5 off your first order. Check out the Discord. We are going to be having a June Shatterpoint event, so a chance for you to try out all of these new models. So check out the Discord. There'll be details on there. And as always, guys, it leaves us with just enough time to say stay well, keep safe, and until next time, may the Force be with you.
Now I'm going to end it.